Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with a very familiar face if you've been watching us, Terry Dale, who's president and CEO of the U.S. Tour Operators Association. And we're going to talk to Terry today a little bit about a major event. In fact, this whole year, USTOA has been celebrating its 50th anniversary, and we're coming up onto their major conference, which will be in November. We're going to talk to them about that and a whole lot more of how they're commemorating this wonderful 50th birthday on Insider Travel Report. First of all, Terry, congratulations on USTOA's 50th. Give us a little look at what the organization is today. How many active tour operators and how many associate members do you have now?
So, James, thank you for this opportunity. It's always great to catch up with you. So, we currently have 49 active members, and those 49 members own and operate roughly 141 different brands.
Right.
And so that's our tour operator base. And then we have approximately 600 associate members from around the world.
And those are mostly destinations and other vendors, right?
We have roughly 150 DMOs.
Right.
So those are destinations wanting to partner with our tour operator members to build product.
Got it.
So, I think you know this, and I'm sure many of your followers do as well. USTOA has never been about being the biggest. We want to represent and work and partner with the very best. Mm-hmm. So it's not about numbers. It's not about taking that 49 to 56 or 66. It's only affiliating with those folks who represent that word in our slogan, integrity in tourism, that we are really focused on. So we just want to be the best.
And certainly, and you have been for 50 years, quite frankly. But let's talk about USTOA's main function today. How do you help your active members, your tour operators, the destinations that are part of your group, and also obviously travel advisors out there who are booking a lot of your members? And why is USTOA so important today, maybe more than ever?
Yes, so that's a big question.
I give you small questions, Terry. You know that.
I know. So to start with, James, when I took this position 11 and a half years ago, which it's hard for me to think that it's been 11 and a half years, we wanted to build a real strong advocacy arm within the Beltway to create a voice and a face for USTOA members. Mm-hmm. And I am confident that we have done that.
Okay.
There have been examples like Cuba, where we have been able to help facilitate travel for our members to provide their customers with access to Cuba. Now, as you know, as administrations change, so does our ability to get people to Cuba. But I use that as an example as what we are able to do for our active members. And ultimately, that translates to our travel advisors who have customers who want to get to Cuba.
Right.
And there have been other examples about our success in the Beltway to help educate, which is really what we're all about when it comes to our elected officials, educating on how we operate as businesses and how what they do, whether it's from a regulatory perspective or a legislative perspective, how that potentially impacts us. So we feel very proud of the progress we've made on that front. And now if we take it to the next 50 years and what our responsibility is to our active members and our travel advisors, it's really around sustainability and it's around DEI.
Right.
We take it extremely seriously about what can we do to educate, inspire, and motivate our active members to create travel experiences that are meaningful and reduce their footprint on the world. And that's a daunting task, but it's a commitment that I personally am making as the head of USTOA, and we as an organization, we have a responsibility to our travel advisors in creating product that is sustainable moving forward.
No,
And that
absolutely. And
takes
I've noticed, and we're going to talk about that, some of the things you've already done this year, that is really laudable. And you held a sustainability conference, things like that. We're going to talk about that, but that is clearly, some of the stuff that's really the most important. One of the other things, of course, you've been known for is this USTOA $1 million protection plan for tour operators in case a tour operator fails, and you can help out the customers that had booked with it. What's the status of that? And actually, have you had to turn to it recently?
So the status is we remain committed to that $1 million travelers assistance program. And your follow-up question, have we had to turn on that or utilize it? The answer is no, not in the last couple of years.
Pretty amazing, given the tenor, the times, right?
That's very amazing. Yeah. We have had a couple of members who have changed their business models, who no longer do package travel, therefore they don't qualify for USTOA membership. But we are fortunate in that, again, this quality that we strive for and financial soundness within our active members has held steadfast throughout this pandemic and our recent crisis. But it's a program that we believe in and will continue to support moving forward.
No, that's great. I've known about that for a long time, and before your time, I remember a really big failure that USTOA really helped out on. But as you said, this past 2 years there really haven't been much, and really in the last, since you've been there, I don't think there have been many cases. So it's a good program. Now, as I mentioned, you're already celebrating USTOA's 50th anniversary this year with kind of a series of special events and programs, and let's talk about some of them. First of all, you launched this Future Lights, celebrating sustainability and diversity, equality, and inclusion. Tell us a little bit about that Future Lights program and what it did.
So, James, we really felt it was important for us to go out to our membership and identify the next generation of leaders, but with the caveat that these leaders we wanted to have within the sustainability DEI space, because again, we believe that's the future.
Right.
And much to my surprise, we had 18 nominations, and those 18 nominations were in and of themselves extraordinary. Mm-hmm. We are going to recognize 3 at our annual conference coming up in Austin, November 28th, who kind of rose to the top.
Right.
But let me tell you, we didn't know what to expect when we launched this, and it far exceeded our expectations. We are thrilled, and we celebrate all 18 of these individuals and the contributions that they are making. So they're our future.
No, absolutely. And in fact, we did an article on the ones you selected, and they were really very interesting nominations and really laudable nominations. They ranged from people out, working in Africa to, I mean, it really was across a section of everyone. Yes. A lot of them were young, and they were younger. Future Lights, as they say. So I think that's a good program, and hopefully you're going to continue that.
We will.
Yeah, that's great. And then, of course, you're going to recognize them when you get to the conference this year. Now, the second thing that you did is launch a Sustainability and Responsibility Summit in Norway, which was interesting. In fact, that event was supposed to be earlier, but because of COVID. But how did that event go, and what did you do at that event?
So, first of all, James, I have to say that our event in Norway was one of the proudest moments in my career with USTOA. And part of it may have been because we have been trying to do this pre-COVID, and then obviously it had to be postponed. But what we did is we brought together a group of roughly 30 some leaders within our membership, both tour operators and associate members. So this was our family that we brought together. And in a setting, Buddha, Norway, which you could not have asked for a better, more idyllic setting than what they have in their backyard in Buddha. And so what we did is we had a combination of panel discussions of tour operator members of USTOA who have already kind of advanced in their journey of sustainability, and how can we take their best practices and share that and build that within our broader membership. And right. At the end of the day, we don't compete when it comes to sustainability. We all benefit by doing a better job and creating better product and experiences for our customers. So it was really about creating that engagement and creating a community around sustainability within USTOA.
Right.
And I am confident that we accomplished that.
Now, is that an event you're going to hold regularly in the future?
Yes. Yes. Okay. We will have a version which I'm calling 2.0, which we will do in tandem with Tourism Cares next year in Norway.
Oh, wow.
And then, in 2024, we'll figure out where, how, who, when. But it is something that we are committed to doing long term, that this isn't just a one-off, but this is something that we need to do on an ongoing basis.
No, absolutely. And I'm sorry I didn't get to that one, but hopefully next one. We'll see how it goes.
Beautiful. Yes.
Now, what are some of the other things you're focusing on for this 50th anniversary year? Are you looking? I think I've heard you were looking at member education, best practices, and also travel advisor education, things like that. Yeah. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So we always look for opportunities to bridge the conversation between the tour operator and the travel advisor. And we hope through our education program that we're able to do that. We continue to build our pool of travel advisors who've gone through the curriculum and successfully completed it. And I will say this, James, through this pandemic, there are hopefully some silver linings, and one of those is the value proposition of the travel advisor. International and global travel today isn't the easiest.
Right.
There are hurdles to address. The travel advisor is the single most important professional that can help navigate that with the tour operator. So I feel collectively our value propositions have really escalated in the consumer awareness around why do you want a good travel advisor? And why is it important to use a tour operator? Because we are your safety, your security, your health network that helps you have these global experiences in a somewhat of a challenging landscape. So as part of our 50th, it's all about reinforcing and messaging to the consumer, the travel advisor, the tour operator, and why together we can get what you want in your travel experiences. So that's really at the heart of what we're doing.
No, that's great. And I know that's very laudable again, and something that your members can really benefit from. Let's talk a lot about this year's USTOA 2022 annual conference in Austin, Texas. I believe it's in later in November. is what is going to be different or special about this event because of the 50th? Like you mentioned, you're going to be recognizing your future future lights. So I said future leaders, future lights. But what else is going to be different this year?
Well, James, I like to keep a lot of it a surprise.
You're good at that. So, I know you.
So all I can say is expect the unexpected. Okay. We always try and do things kind of on the edge that's a little different. And let me give you an example. So one of the programs of our 50th anniversary, coupled with sustainability, is that we are producing and launching later this month our first ever comic strip.
Okay.
And the comic strip is Sustainable Susie.
Okay.
And Sustainable Susie is a superhero who goes around the world and helps consumers and tour operators create positive experiences for your customer, my customer, everyone. I don't know any other travel association that would consider producing a comic strip. And I think it demonstrates our interest in always coming up with new ways to create and communicate our messages in a way that's unique. So I use that as an example of when you ask about our conference,
right?
Rest assured that there are going to be things like Sustainable Susie that come out at our conference that have never been done before.
I expect that from you. You've done some innovative things over the years, both in your previous post when you're overseeing Cruise Lines International Association, and then you came in and kind of rocked up the boat at USTOA as well. Some really interesting things. The conferences were always creative. You've had your special, similar to TED Talks, that series of talks. And I remember once you had people ironing shirts. That was interesting.
Yes. So we will not let anyone down when it comes to our 50th anniversary and the conference in Austin. And all I can say is stay tuned.
Absolutely. Now, is there anything else you want to tell our 105,000 travel advisors out there about USTOA today, or its 50th anniversary?
James, it can never be said enough, is that we cannot succeed post-COVID without the travel advisor.
Right.
They are critical to our success, even more today, and they will continue to be. So we thank you for your partnership, and here's to the next 50 years that you will be by our side as we move forward.
Now, where can travel advisors go to learn more about USTOA and all the things you have planned this year?
Yeah, go to our website, ustoa.com, and there it is.
There you go. Well, Terry, I want to thank you for taking the time to give us an update on USTOA on its 50th anniversary. Congratulations, the big 50, as they said. We all fear that sometimes, but this is a good thing. But yeah, so it sounds like a lot of good stuff that's been happening already, and more to come this year. And again, thank you for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you, James.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.